Welcome to the Guelph Real Estate Report podcast with your host and Guelph Realtor, Ryan Waller. This podcast is designed to provide information for those buying and selling homes in the Guelph area to make the process more informative, fun, and a little less stressful. Now, on with the show.
Welcome back to episode number 5. I'm Ryan Waller, and I am the host of the Guelph Real Estate Report podcast. And we are now talking about the third part of a 3-part series on getting ready to buy or sell in the spring market, if we're anticipating it's going to be a little bit slower this year. And today we're specifically going to talk about what you can do if you're selling to be prepared for the spring market. Okay, we're going to talk about 3 things today that you should be considering if you are planning to sell a house in Guelph this spring, especially if the market is a little bit slower. And the first one, please, please, please promise me that you will invest in a realtor that will invest in you. And by investment, I don't necessarily mean a monetary investment, although real estate salespeople are self-employed. They are business owners, and they should know the basics of business in that the philosophy of it takes money to make money does apply here. As a seller, you want to hire an agent that will give you the advice to get the best result out of your home sale. For some people, this is maybe the only chance they'll have to sell their home in their life. Maybe you need this money to fund your retirement, or maybe you need this money to pay for your child's education, or maybe this is just going to pay off your mortgage and you're going to be debt-free. Regardless of your own situation, most people want to make the most out of their investment. And a realtor who invests in you will help you reap the rewards of a higher sale price. As an example, staging makes a big difference. And during COVID, when people were not able to go to open houses or didn't go to showings, they relied on photos to tell the story of what a house was like. And since then, so many more people have made their decision to go see a home based on the photos they see. So staging, high quality photos, video, 360 tour video, digital floor plans all play a much larger role in the decision process than they had played in previous years. And if you are working with a realtor who doesn't want to invest in those things, it might be worth getting a second opinion. And look, this isn't to disparage any other realtors out there, because there are a lot of great people in this industry, but here's a fact. 64% of the realtors in Guelph in 2024 sold one home or less. One home. 64% of the realtors sold one home or less. And if you are a home seller who may only get the chance to sell their home one time in their whole life, I'm not sure that you want to leave it to somebody who has sold one home in a year. You probably want to work with someone who does this regularly, who would give you the confidence that they can get the best result possible. Your retirement may be relying on this sale. Your child's university education may be relying on this sale. It's just not worth the risk sometimes. So make sure that when you talk to realtors, you are working with a realtor who has your best interest in mind and is going to invest in you personally, financially, emotionally, whatever. But promise me that. Our second piece of advice or strategy is don't try to time the market. And we get asked the most, I think it is the most common question we get, which is, when should I list my house? And We can give two sets of answers to that. One of them is statistically, and the other one is the real world. And statistically, the best time to sell a house is at the end of February, because you're beating the spring market. There's still not a lot of selection. There may be some snow on the ground, but buyers are starting to get ready. So you almost get ahead of the line. You get ahead of the spring market. And if you have something unique, you could do really well. The month with the most sales, so the highest volume statistically, is May. So if you are trying to find the month with the most buyers, it's May. However, there's also the most sellers in May competing with you. So really, there's not a lot of competitive advantage because there are a lot of homes available. The slowest months statistically, August and December for sure. No one wants to be listing their house midsummer. No one wants to be listing their house right before Christmas. However, we say to people the best time to list your house is when you're ready and when there's not another house like yours available for sale, when there's limited supply and maybe larger demand. So we don't recommend you follow seasonality at all. We recommend you sell when you're ready, unless, of course, you're going to be selling in December, which we probably would advise not to because it's more of a pain in the neck than anything else. You're trying to sip your eggnog and you've got showing requests coming in through your phone. Not the most ideal. Anyways, that's tip number 2. And tip number 3, or strategy number 3, is when you are listing your house, be realistic. Be realistic in your list price, be realistic in your expectations, and be realistic on your timing. There are many ways that you can go about listing a house. You can hold offers, which if you don't know what holding offers is, we have a blog that we can direct you to in the show notes. You can have an irrevocable. You can just put your house on the market like a traditional sale and negotiate accordingly. But your realtor should have recommendations here for you on the type of market, because depending on the type of market, usually dictates the strategy you're going to take. Whatever the strategy is, be realistic in what you think the sale price should be. Now, your realtor and you may have different opinions on what that is. But I think in most cases, your realtor should come prepared to discuss what a realistic price of your house is. And beware of realtors who try to what they call buy your listing, which is essentially tell you any number you want to hear to get the paperwork signed and then gradually decrease the price over time to the actual market value. Have some hard questions for your realtor about what the price is and how they arrived at that price. An active realtor will know most likely what homes in your area have sold for, and they may have sold one of them. They know the way it works. But be realistic in your price and be realistic in your expectations. And sometimes, no fault of their own, no fault of yours, you need to have a plan B, because in most cases, your listing agent will not be representing a buyer. They can't control what buyers do. If buyers don't want to make an offer, they don't want to make an offer. Maybe they found something else that they like better somewhere else. And having a plan B in place before you even list the house, whether that is a plan B on a price, whether that is a plan B on different scenarios, at least have the discussion. Because nothing is worse than getting into a certain scenario and not having any prior discussion about it. It's easier to do when you've got it up front. Selling a house can be a stressful task, but with the right strategy in place and the right realtor in place, you can make it happen. If you have any questions on the Guelph real estate market, you can always find us at bethandryan.ca. See you next time.